Welcome back to the Sports Source, the segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. No one has a bigger, better, wider selection of new boats than Madisonville Marine. These guys carry so many makes and models that I would wear you out just listing them all. But they also have a huge warranty-backed selection of pre-owned boats. They got it all. Skeeter, G3, they got Aqua Patio. It's just a really great place to go and find your next boat, new or pre-owned. Madisonville Marine, madmarine.com, but get down to Highway 411 North in Madisonville. Tell Joe Special and the team down there that I said hello. All right, the Vols start the year at number 17 in the coaches poll, number 18th in the AP poll. Inside the SEC, Kentucky's number 11, Alabama's 13, Arkansas 15, Auburn 22. UT schedule is fantastic. It's a great schedule. I mean, and Rick Barnes always schedules well. But this one to me is just, I think this may be the best I've ever seen. So you've got a loaded schedule. You've got an SEC where there are about 5 of you that are ranked between 11th and 22nd right now. What's a good year? And we're talking way down the road. We'll get back in 6 months and revisit this, but what's a good year for Rick Barnes' team this year?
Well, again, I think we talk about this every season about how do you judge a good year. Is it the NCAA run? Is it the SEC tournament?
All right, let me ask you this. In terms of our view, because when it comes down to fan view of a good year, that's going to be what you do in March, period, end of story. They can go 30-0. You lose in the first round of the NCAA tournament, it's a terrible year.
Yeah. I think if they finish in the top 4 of the SEC, which is where they're picked by the coaches, and they get to that Sweet 16 type of run. Sweet 16, second round. Then after that, it's kind of who's got a hot night, what are the matchups once you get in the NCAA tournament. But I think the teams that you mentioned, I do think Auburn is going to be much improved. Alabama, Arkansas, they've got some things figured out. Kentucky, loaded as always, but how do they mesh? Do they shoot the ball from the perimeter well in a changing landscape of college basketball is becoming more and more about the 3? But I think if this team stays healthy, they should finish in the top 4 of the SEC.
What's a good year, Isaiah, in your view?
I always go backwards from the NCAA tournament, so if they go to the Sweet 16, I think they're a Sweet 16 team. So, they'll be solid. Anything past that would be outstanding. Want to see that elusive SEC tournament championship maybe. They got the team to do it. We've had a team to do it for a long time. It's been pretty elusive. And, the regular season doesn't mean a whole lot. They're going to get challenged a lot in the first half of it, which is good. Yeah. So then when they come back around to the SEC season, they should be more seasoned. But I think Sweet 16 or beyond, and let's get an SEC championship. They can do it.
Yeah. It's always funny that, and we've talked about this before, because you're from the Chicagoland up north where people have a different view of basketball. Down here, it is such a focus on football that we view basketball through a football lens. And I've done things on the show before where we break down the schedule into 4-game pods to try and keep people from riding that roller coaster. Yeah. You mentioned the regular season really doesn't. The regular season is basically just getting you ready for the NCAA. That's the whole thing. We're going to play 4 months of basketball to get ready for that last SEC tournament, NCAA tournament, which is going to be at 2 weeks of basketball.
Yeah, that's to your point. Like, enjoy these matchups. Enjoy Arizona. Yeah. Enjoy Texas. Enjoy these games that we're playing. And it is. They're going to be in the NCAA tournament, barring some injury or some catastrophic thing. They're going to be in the NCAA tournament, and it's about the preparation for that. That's why I'm saying I hope there's some games where we struggle from the perimeter, for shooting it from 3, because if this team does not get development from Olivier, from Euros, from Hatfield, they're not going to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
And you'd rather figure it out with a loss early
Absolutely.
than have to learn it in the NCAA tournament later. It is interesting that, I'm like you. You're going to play – you play at Texas and you beat them. You play at Villanova and you lose to them. You play these great teams. It's all okay. Well, you're not going to beat all these guys. But there is a certain reaction because people here are used to watching football, and not Tennessee football recently in terms of winning every game, but that expectation of, well, you play 12 games, you win 12 games. People get so upset over a loss in basketball down here, and it's just not how that sport is built.
Right, especially with the younger talent that you got to have coming in. They are talented, but they're still freshmen, and they got to get used to it. They've never did this before. They played on high levels, but they hadn't went to go play in New York in the Garden. And I remember my senior year we had a schedule something like this. We played Virginia and New Jersey, Jimmy V Classic, and then we went to Syracuse, played at Syracuse. They were both ranked. And I think we started off 12 or 13-1, but then we belly flopped in the SEC season and went out first round of the tournament. So it was considered a bad year. So that's why I don't put that much emphasis on it, except for the growth aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If you have, it's all about March. It's a shame that there's not a way to re-emphasize the regular season a little bit more, I guess. But and I'm not in terms of expectations, but to make it to where it wasn't just a total tournament sport, because I do think that hurts the sport overall, that you can have a spectacular year, be ranked number 1 in the country for a month. If you don't get past the Sweet 16, it's a failure.
Yeah.
That's tough. At the same time, if you squeak into the tournament, have a 16-13 year, win your conference tournament, get in, then run to the Final Four, it's a great season.
Oh no! I played at Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Nobody remembers how many conference championships we won. They all remember that we went to the Sweet 16. That's how they remember us, is because we went to the Sweet 16.
And it's how Bruce Pearl got out of there and got down here. That's how the sport works. All right, when we come back, I want to ask Mark. All right, this is a former assistant coach at UT for a couple of different coaches. Jeremy Pruitt came out with his threats about UT, and apparently his lawyer didn't file any lawsuits yesterday on the deadline, or the deadline they had set. But I want to ask him, would any coach, if given the real opportunity and the mics are away, not just say, stroke the check, get him out of here? We'll ask him. We'll see what he says. Come on back on the Sports Source.